Okay, before we get to tonight's presentation of Nick Carter, I'd like to thank a couple of people for their help today. I can't wait to get Ken Poletic's tape, so I found out what a good convention I enjoyed. Because I spent most of the day running, and Jay did too, so anyway. The person who gave me the picture of myself and Lee Allman, I really didn't have time to thank you today, so wherever you are, thank you. Terry Solomonson, who followed my tape deck around all day, thank you very much. You relieved a great burden from me. Ed Greenbaum, who's not here tonight, did a great job on the Al Jolson workshop, I thought. Ron Barnett did the OTR collecting experts, if anybody wants to be called experts with quotation marks around it. Gary Kramer for his recording tape workshop. Gary Yagi for his OTR in the community, which was very good. Ken Poletic, who's been taping this, and Will, on how you get a videotape of everything that you missed, or I missed anyway. Richard King did another great job in the trivia contest. She's not here now, but Betty Jane Tyler Karp, who was one of our guests one year, did an excellent job on our panel discussion. And also for the people who helped in transporting Ray Johnson, Don Clayton, Ed Matson, and Ken Carlberg. And I'd like to give them all a hand for their help. Okay, without their help today, we would have just come to the hotel and had dinner and just left. Okay. Let's get to our main feature tonight, which is Lon Clark and Charlotte Manson and Nick Carter. I'll read down the cast. To do the opening, very short, they're just going to be up here and they're going to run back to their seats probably. Playing the woman will be Lee Allman, and then voice will be Arthur Anderson. Don't worry, Arthur, you don't say much and I have a script. In fact, you have one line. Okay. Announcing will be a veteran announcer, of course, Jack Beck. Playing Marjorie Wainwright will be Evie Juster, another convention veteran. Sidney Sloan will play Alex Miller. Nancy Douglas will play Anna Svensson. Nancy, there you are. We're missing Rosa Rio. Rosa.
He's here.
Rosa will be doing the accompaniment. Rosa.
Rosa Rio, let's give her a hand.
Sound effects will be provided by the Prescott brothers, Bob and Pete. Patsy Boland will be played by Charlotte Manson. If Charlotte could come up. Charlotte?
You all right? Yep.
Okay. And of course, Nick Carter, played by none other than Lon Clark.
Arthur, you have one line where you say,
Okay, so now the fun and games begin. Rosa?
Will you tell the sound effect people that there is a music bridge that was not written in the script on page 12? Page 12. Music bridge 4.
All right, Bob and Steve, are you ready? Yeah. Rosa? Arthur. Arthur, lead.
All right. All right, what's the matter? What is it? Woman.
Now?
Yeah, woman. Well, open the door.
Richard?
What's the matter? What is it?
It's another case for Nick Carter, master detective.
Yes, it's another case for that most famous of all manhunters, the detective whose ability at solving crime is unequaled in the history of detective fiction. Nick Carter, Master Detective. Presented by the three great Linex home brighteners, Linex Clear Gloss, Linex Cream Polish, and Linex Self-Polishing Wax. Created by Acme, America's great producer of Acme quality paints. Today's curious adventure.
The Black Rose Murder. Or Nick Carter and the mystery of the deserted greenhouses.
In just a moment, we'll hear how Nick Carter solved the mystery of the Black Rose murder. But first, here's a question and an answer. Why do American homemakers spend hours every week keeping their homes as shining and bright as they know how? Because it gives their families and friends real pleasure, of course. And just as they've found that Chemtone, the miracle wall finish, brings new loveliness to walls, so the three great Linex home brighteners lend renewed beauty to floors, woodwork, and furniture. Linex Clear Gloss Varnish, the durable super varnish that dries to an elastic, transparent surface which protects all wood and linoleum in your home. Linex Cream Polish, which cleans as it polishes, leaving no oily film on your furniture. And Linex Self-Polishing Wax, which beautifies your floors with a satiny yet tough non-skid finish that resists wear, water, and dirt. Get the three great Linex home brighteners at your hardware, paint, or department store. Your headquarters also for Chemtone, the miracle wall finish. And now for today's mysterious adventure with Nick Carter. As we look in on Nick and Patsy, they're sitting in Nick's office holding one of their never-ending discussions.
Nick, do you really believe that you can tell something about a killer by the type of weapon he uses in murdering someone?
Yes, Patsy, I do.
Oh?
But generally, there are so many other facts in any given killing that it's almost impossible to isolate one.
Uh-huh. But, Nick, if that were true, why don't more detectives do something?
Patsy,
What?
you going to let that phone ring indefinitely?
Why not? It's long after business hours. We're not even supposed to be here at this time of evening.
You forget one thing, my charming young assistant. This also happens to be my home as well as my office.
Oh, really, Nick? I give up. Nick Carter's resident.
Please let me speak to Mr. Carter.
Who is calling, please? And what is it about?
This is a personal friend of Mr. Carter's, and I'm not accustomed to telling my business to the housemaid. Put Mr. Carter on.
The housemaid. Why, you impudent.
Now, Patsy, take it easy. Here, let me figure. Hello, Nick Carter speaking.
Mr. Carter, this is Marjorie Wainwright, Colonel Wainwright's daughter.
Well, Marjorie, how are you? I haven't seen you since you were a kid in pigtails. What can I do for you?
I'm in Mr. Brennan's apartment, and he's dead.
What? Dead? Who's Mr. Brennan? And how did he die?
Mr. Brennan's my boss, was my boss, and well, it's either a heart attack or murder, and I'm afraid it...
Well, what makes you think that he was murdered, Marjorie?
You've got to help me, Mr. Carter. I'm afraid to call the police. You're the only detective I know. Oh, please come over. I'm scared.
Well, how was he killed?
I think he was killed by a black rose.
A black rose?
Oh, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm sure it's true. Oh, won't you come over, please?